Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. The debate today is going to cause a lot of debate, and it is, who is the best manager in the Premier League at the moment? Is it Pep, is it Klopp, or is it Thomas Tuchel? Now, I was going to do Pep against Tuchel, but I felt it was a little bit dismissive not to include Jurgen Klopp in this. Now, for me, we're talking about who's the best manager at the moment, and this is going to cause a few debates, so get in the chat. I know people like City are going to go, he's an idiot, look at this idiot, he's saying Pep's not the best manager in the world, but we all know that Pep fans live up Pep's arse. They love him. They absolutely do. And I get that. It's a bit like if you prefer Ronaldo or Messi over Ronaldo, etc. I get that. But right here, right now, there has to be a moment decision, and there has to be a wider decision. Now, some people might say the best player in the world at the moment is such and such, but the best player in the world in general is Messi. Like, you know, I get that. But in relation to management at the moment, could you put Pep Guardiola ahead of Thomas Tuchel as a coach in the Premier League, as the best Premier League coach right here, right now? And how do you differentiate between the two? Is Pep always the best coach in the Premier League just because of what he's done over the last few years? Or actually, do you have to put some weight on the fact we're talking about right here, right now, September 2021, Thomas Tuchel is the best coach in the Premier League at the moment? And I actually lean towards that. And the reason for that is, look at recent history. The Champions League final was between Manchester City and Chelsea. That wasn't a smash and grab. That wasn't a fluke. The best team won that game. And it was a very tactical game again. It was Chelsea against Manchester City, but it was Tuchel against Pep, and Tuchel won it. Manchester City won the Premier League title, I hear you say. Yeah, but Thomas Tuchel doesn't start managing Chelsea until halfway through the league, by which time Man City were already miles ahead. Let's see what happens on that this season, because you know what, we might be having the same debate back in next May, and maybe the Champions League and the Premier League's gone to Pep, and we're going, you know what, he is the best manager in the Premier League. But right here, right now, I think Thomas Tuchel is better than Pep, and the evidence is there. 3 times at the end of last season he beat him. Now, I basically celebrated a Chelsea goal because I thought Man City, with Pep Guardiola, were going to win the quadruple and obliterate Manchester United's treble with no fans in the ground, which I think would have been wrong. So I was very happy when Chelsea beat Manchester City in the semi-final of the FA Cup. And it was the first 60 minutes. They were brilliant. They absolutely were. It took them a long time to score in that semi-final at Wembley, but tactically they were brilliant. They played out from the back. They played through the City press. Time and time again, they got through, and they were the better team, and it was the better tactical approach from that manager, and they won that game. Then they played them at the Etihad in the league, and I was like, you know, can he beat him twice? You know, they're very, very good managers and they're very, very good teams, and he did it again. And I was like, bloody hell, he's done it again. And then the Champions League final, I'm like, shit, I want Chelsea to win again because I don't want Man City to win a Champions League. Who wants that to happen apart from a City fan? I'm like, it can't happen again. It's like flipping a coin. You can't flip 3 tails 3 times in a row. I mean, you can, but the chances are you're going to flip a heads. They're very good coaches with very good teams. He beat him again. And again, it was a tactical battle, and again he came out on top. 3 times in a row he's beaten Pep Guardiola. And there's, you know, don't come at me and say, well, Chelsea got a better team, they've got more money. Come on, it's Man City. The reality is, right here, right now, Thomas Tuchel has proven 3 times that he is a better coach than Pep Guardiola, and now into this Premier League season he's proven it again because he's had harder fixtures than Pep and he's got 3 more points. Now, of course, it's a prelude to what's about to happen on Saturday. They're about to play each other, and Man City fans have been like, I can't bloody wait for us to go and beat bloody Chelsea and shut Goldbridge and Tuchel and Chelsea fans up. And I get that, and maybe you will, but maybe that's why we're having the debate anyway, because I think right here, right now, Thomas Tuchel is a better coach than Pep Guardiola in the Premier League and has proven that. Who is the better coach generally? I don't think we're at that point yet where you can say Thomas Tuchel's a better coach than Pep Guardiola because of what he's achieved. And I will never say this. As much as I don't want Man City to be successful, I've always said the level of coaching that Pep Guardiola puts into his work is amazing. Absolutely amazing. If you're Sam Allardyce, you go into training when you can be asked and say, right, Saturday afternoon, I want you up for it. Grrr, I want you up for it. Win the second ball. Hit the ball long. Get physical. You know, Pep Guardiola says we're not going to play with a number 9. But for that to work, you've got to be moving here and here and here and here. And he's obsessive. He's a brilliant, brilliant coach. But you know what? On the other hand, so is Thomas Tuchel. Look at that game against Spurs at the weekend. I couldn't believe it. You know, it's 0-0 at half time. It's a very equal game. It's a high tempo game. You know, second half, you'd still fancy Chelsea because they've got the better players. What does he do at half-time? Completely changes the team, completely changes the tactics, and smothers the life out of Spurs for 45 minutes. It finishes 3-0, it could have been 6-0. He is a coach at the very peak of his powers, and I think he's got gears to go through. He's got the confidence to make changes at half-time in a game where they're playing well. I think right here, right now, he deserves the respect. And look, this is a coach that a year ago we were talking about him coming to United, and I was like, no, I'm not so sure. No, I'm not so sure. I don't think he's that good. I'm wrong. And I think right here, right now, he's the best coach in the Premier League. Right here, right now. Is he the best coach longer than right here, right now? And it's hard to differentiate, isn't it? Because I think you've got to always say the best form manager is probably the best thing. The best manager in the world, for me, I think still Pep and Klopp are ahead of him. But the in-form manager, the best, the player of the month, the best manager right here, right now in the Premier League, performing in them now, is Thomas Tuchel. Is he as better than Pep and Klopp in general? In a general statement, then no, not quite that. But he's heading fast towards that, and that's the battle. That's the battle Pep's got. I mean, Pep's playing Tuchel this weekend, Klopp the weekend after. In relation to Klopp, look, Liverpool. A lot of Liverpool fans feel they're being slept on. I don't think they're being slept on. I think you are established as what you are. You've won the Premier League, you've won the Champions League in the last few years, and you've had a very good start to the season. I just think the general consensus is that Liverpool do not have the squad that Man City and Chelsea have got. And if Klopp did have that, then people would probably be shouting about Liverpool a little bit more. That's a good situation for Liverpool to be in. There's no doubting that Liverpool had a bad season last year, but there's no doubting that when Liverpool are on it, they've proven they can be the best in the world. They can best in Europe and they're best in the Premier League. So I wouldn't be dismissing Liverpool, and I think Klopp and Liverpool would be quite happy to be an afterthought in this debate about who is the best manager in the league at the moment, because you could argue that Klopp's ahead of Pep. But I think the way that, look, Liverpool rivalry aside, I've said this a few times, I think the closest thing to Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson is Liverpool under Klopp. He does get his fullbacks forward. He does play a high line. He does attack and take risks and move the ball quickly. And I'm hoping that Ollie will evolve into that himself. But there's no doubting that Jurgen Klopp's a fantastic manager. And if he hadn't been a Liverpool manager and Ollie did leave, I would want him at Manchester United, because I think his passion, his ideologies and his style of football are perfect for the modern game if you want to be entertained. But right here, right now, I think this battle is, and it's probably because Man City are playing Chelsea at the weekend, but also because one is the Premier League holder and one is the Champions League holder. That's the challenge for Klopp. He's got to get back into that debate. Now, whether he can get back into that debate, I do question whether he's got the squad. That's not his fault. If he had an Abramovich or he had a Sheikh Mansour, Klopp would be able to have that big squad, and I think it would be, a very different story from last year. They're coming off a bad year. The year before they were champions. I think everyone's got their eyes on Liverpool. I certainly wouldn't sleep on Liverpool, and I still think they're a very, very good team with very, very world-class players and a world-class coach. But in the relation to the debate right here, right now, I think it's I think it's Tuchel over Pep. But let's see what happens this week. Get your comments in below. Make sure you smash a like on the video. What are your thoughts? And I'll be definitely looking forward to reading through them. Speak to you all in a bit. Take care.